In America today, we have more people in jail than any other country on earth, including China, an authoritarian communist country with a population 4 times our size. How does that happen?
The one thing I want the President and new Congress to address in 2021 is the moral and economic failure that is mass incarceration.
To give a rough estimate of how severe this problem is, let's compare our prison system to another part of the world. The U.S. average rate of incarceration is 698 per 100,000 residents, while in Europe, the prison population is 106 inmates per 100,000.
With some of the things that happened through the 80s with the war on drugs and with changes both in multiple states and at the federal level, there was a huge boom.
Richard Nixon, the President of the United States in 1971, declared war on drugs. In 1981, the war on drugs was a relatively small component of federal law until Ronald Reagan entered his presidency. He expanded the reach of the drug war and focused on criminal punishment or treatment. This led to a massive increase in mass incarcerations for nonviolent drug offenses. Ronald Reagan passed 2 anti-drug abuse acts in 1986 and 1988. These acts led to harsher penalties for small crimes, established mandatory minimums for various criminal offenses, and increased federal funding for narcotic control. These measures led to an increase in the national prisoner population from 740,000 to 1.6 million between 1985 through 1995.
A lot of people thought for a long time, if you just take all the bad people and you put them away, then we won't have crime anymore. And it's like, it's been long enough with that experiment to know that that is not how it works.
One trend that remains consistent throughout the years of mass incarceration is the racial inequality in our justice system. White people make up 64% of the general population, but 31% of the prison population, while black people make up 14% of the general population, but 36% of the prison population, and Hispanic people make up 16% of the general population, but 24% of the prison population.
The drug war is responsible for the arrest, incarceration, and branding of millions of people of color as felons.
Not only does the current system hurt those incarcerated, it also takes money out of the pockets of tax-paying Americans.
For so long, we've just been, lock them up, throw away the key. Well, okay, that's cool, but they're going to get sick. We got to feed them. They're going to take up another bed. I mean, it costs money to incarcerate people.
It is estimated that $80 billion worth of taxpayer money is used for the prison system each year.
One of the problems is that we're spending so much money to incarcerate all these people, over 2 million people in this country. That is money that we're not spending on education, that we're not spending on jobs. And until we start to cut those costs, that's money that can't be used for those other services that really do relate to incarceration.
Take a look at my state. Incarceration is one of the biggest problems Oklahoma faces, and we're far from fixing it. Oklahoma incarcerates about 1,079 per 100,000 of our residents. This means that more than 1 in 100 Oklahoma adults are in jail or prison. Annual cost per inmate in Oklahoma in 2015 was $16,497. According to the OK Policy Institute, if incarcerated at the much lower national average, Oklahomans could save $162,462,456 in taxes annually.
Over the years, the Department of Corrections budget is at roughly $500 million within the state of Oklahoma. And that's money that, as long as we continue to lock up people, can't be diverted to other societal needs, like better funding education, roads and bridges, infrastructure, whatever that may be within state government itself.
The war on drugs led to a massive increase of the prison population, and because of this, private prison operators were quick to use this opportunity as a way to profit.
Because of the reliance both state and federal prison had on privatization, the commitment federal prison systems had towards privatization increased dramatically. In late 2016, former President Obama announced his plan to phase out the use of private federal prisons. Within 6 months, that plan was reversed by the Justice Department a month into Donald Trump's presidency.
In private systems, they make an investment in the person and they feel that they can leave here rehabilitated, whereas in the public systems, it was punitive and they felt like just another number. It is jarring to me that we have politicians in an effort to demonize capitalism that are willing to take away the only real chances that these men feel that they have to be reintroduced into society in a productive manner.
Our justice system should not be running on a profit motive, and yet this administration is turning back toward private prisons and toward putting more people in prison without good reasons. And all of that is very alarming.
So if our incarceration rate is so high, does that mean we have a high crime rate?
The answer is no. Our crime rate is relatively low compared to other countries, while our incarceration rate surpasses any other. So it's not the crime that leads to these numbers, it's the way we respond to crime.
We're very mad at people when they mess up, and we're very mad at people when they commit crimes, and we want to see them pay. It's about me being better than you and me saying to you, you messed up and I want to hurt you back, basically.
In 2018, the First Step Act, which passed with overwhelming support from Republicans and Democrats, takes steps in the right direction to fix the federal criminal justice system and ease very harsh prison sentences at the federal level. And in 2020, Oregon became the first state to decriminalize drug possession. The state began using their marijuana tax revenue to fund addiction programs for users, rather than sentencing them to prison and labeling them as criminals. Looking at Oregon, we can use them as an example for the rest of the United States, taking steps in the right direction.
We have come so far, but we are far from finished.